Hi guys, it's Carol. How are ya? I'm pretty good. Uh, I haven't responded to comments yet. It's been a little difficult for me to read. I need this shield over my eye so I don't scratch it. I caught myself really rubbing it hard when I took it off. Because if it's here, I can't wear my glasses for this eye because they don't fit. so, um, but I haven't responded, but I have read some of them, and I realized that several people have some questions about how I chose the lens I chose and what the procedure was like. Several of you have this coming up in your future real soon, so I just thought I will tell you what my experience was like. Now, I am not a medical professional. I have no medical training whatsoever. um, I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you about my experience. And you take from that what you want. Okay. How it all started, I've known I've had cataracts for years. Um, but when I went to, last spring, I was having a hard time seeing. I have horrible eyesight, have since I was a little girl. Anyway, I went to the optometrist in the spring, and she told me it was time to have my cataracts removed. She says, "Yes, I can see your problem. Those glasses are not what you need right now." And here's a phone call. Okay. Went to the optometrist. She said, "Yes, you need new glasses. Those aren't doing you very much good, but it's time to have your cataracts removed." So I could sell you a pair of glasses today, but in 2 months or three, you're going to need another pair of glasses after your cataract surgery. So I'm not going to write you a prescription for today, which I appreciated. She could have. She could have sold me a pair of glasses and I wouldn't have thought about what was going on. Anyway, so she told me I believe she told me there are 6 ophthalmologists in my town. And she told me they had all been doing cataract surgery uh, for decades, that she felt like they were all equally good. She would recommend any of them. And she told me a little bit about each one to help me kind of pick who I want to have. She said one will pray with you before the surgery. I told her I'll take him. Actually, first I told her I want the one with the steadiest hands. And she said they're all fine. They're all going to do a good job. But she told me a little bit about their personalities and actually how I chose which doctor to choose to have do my surgery was who took my insurance. That's when you're a senior citizen and you have Medicare, that's pretty much how you choose any doctor. Do they take my medicine, my insurance? So that's how I got the doctor that I have. I really like him. Um, anyway, Casey called and made an appointment for me, verified with them that yes, they do take my insurance, just to be sure. And there were several appointments. The first is an initial consultation. We went in, Casey went with me because, I don't hear very well. We went in and they took me to, first of all, you have to fill out a ton of paperwork, like any doctor visit. Then they took me into this room that had equipment, much like the optometrist office, where you put your chin on that little cup and you look at the red light and they about blind you and they do the puff of air, that kind of thing. There were 3 machines there that we did something with. She told me one thing is she was measuring my eye to know what lens I need. Did that, and she dilated my eyes before we did that. Then after I did the things with her, she took me to another room, and it looked a lot like an optometrist office. The ophthalmologist came in and that was just for me to meet him, for him to agree that he would do my surgery, for me to agree that I wanted him to do my surgery. And uh, that didn't take very long. We just talked a few minutes. I told him that I get really stressed about things. He said, we can give you something. Um, that's about it. From him, from talking to him, we went to another lady's office. She was like the financial person, sort of. And she took my insurance card and all my information and told me that I would need to come back in a week to see her again. And during that week, she would contact my insurance company and verify what they were going to pay. So when I come back, I would know exactly how much I owe. She didn't say it, but I assume they want their money when I come back for the surgery. She didn't say that. I don't know. I just assumed so. And so I paid my portion when I went back the next week. Okay. Go back the next week. She gives me some instructions. I don't have it right with me. Gave me a breakdown of the charges, all of that stuff. And I gave her my insurance card, wrote her a check, or no, I gave her my debit card, and paid for it. And that was that. My portion for both eyes and for this little kit I'm going to show you was a little under $700. It was 600 and I don't remember how much, but not under 700. She had told me that this kit alone is $100. And what's in it is a pair of great big sunglasses. She said, now, anytime you come, bring this kit with you. Sunglasses, because you're going to need them. And 3 little bottles. This one is to dilate my eyes. I was responsible for dilating my eyes on the day of the surgery. And then there are 2 bottles of this prednisolone bromphenic. It's basically a steroid to keep inflammation down and let your eye heal. So I've got 2 bottles of those. She gave me an instruction sheet that on the day before my first cataract surgery, to put 1 drop of of this one in. This is the steroid. Put 1 drop in the eye that we're going to operate on. Then the next day, on the day of my surgery, 30 minutes before time for my surgery, put a drop in the eye, wait 10 minutes, put another drop, wait 10 more minutes, and put a 3rd drop in. So did that, and we got to the office. We didn't have to wait very long at all. They took me to that room and they measured my eyes again. And then another lady took me to a little room and she checked my pulse, my oxygen level, my blood pressure, my temperature, told me that she could give me a Valium if I wanted to. It was totally optional. If I felt like I needed it, I said, yes, I think I do. And so she gave me a bottle of water and that Valium, and I swallowed it down. Then she put those little paper hair covering things on my hair, and the same kind of thing for my shoes, put on little booties over my shoes. They didn't need to take my clothes off or anything. The instructions I got earlier had said, wear something really comfortable. So I wore some really comfy pants and a top. And after she did that, and I took the Valium, then another lady came and got me. We were adjacent to the operating area room. And I went in it. She got me settled. It was a chair much like a dental chair, is what it looked like exactly. It had a big white sheet over it. You couldn't see the chair itself, but it was covered with this white sheet. And she helped me get settled on that. It leaned back, but not all the way flat. It was like at a 45-degree angle, I think. It was very comfortable. She put a blanket over me. Every time I saw a person, they asked me, "Do you know why you're here?" I guess they're used to working with a lot of elderly people that don't know anything. I would have to tell them, "Yes, I know why I'm here." And they'd say, "Why?" I want a cataract removed from my left eye. Give them my birthday and my name. Did that. Anyway, here I am. I'm in this chair, like a dental chair, covered in a blanket. She puts a drop in my eye that obviously was numbing something. I had no anesthesia of any kind. So that drop must have been the numbing. And he came in and had like a weighted blanket that they put over me. Now, I don't know if just this eye was showing. I don't remember it bothering my breathing, but this eye, I couldn't see what he was doing, so it must have covered my face. It must have covered that everything but this eye. Um, I felt something, but it wasn't painful. I just felt a movement. I think he must have been putting something in to keep my eye open, maybe. I don't know. But it wasn't painful. It was just, I could feel somebody touching close to my eye. Then um, he did it, and then he said, "Okay, it went well. You have bad astigmatism. You're still going to need to wear glasses, unfortunately." And that was it. And I don't think it took even 10 minutes. I don't think, honestly, from the time he came in that room and they put the weighted blanket on me until he was done and on his way out, it was just minutes. It was incredibly fast. In fact, I didn't even know he did anything. I understand that they make a teeny tiny slit in your incision in your eye, tiny, tiny, tiny one. Insert a probe that I believe it has oh, some kind of waves, I forgot what, that bust up your natural lens, sucks it out with the cataract. The cataract is on your lens, sucks that out, and then with the same little probe, they stick the new lens in, and you're done. There's no stitches. I never felt a thing, honestly. I wasn't even sure he had done anything when he was saying, "Okay, it went well," and he was on his way out the door. I honestly did not know he did anything. Didn't feel a thing. Um, I mean, it was a piece of cake. Going to the dentist is much worse. uh, Even this is that was on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. This is my third day. Still haven't had any pain, except when you put the drops in, they sting. But if you've ever had your eyes dilated, you have felt that sting. It doesn't last long. Um, the day after my surgery, I had to start a routine of putting in the eye drops. That's a steroid 3 times a day. And you have to do that 3 times a day for 3 weeks. And I was told, don't stop, do every one um, for 3 weeks. Don't bend over for at least 3 days, because that will put pressure on your eye and the lens. You can dislodge the lens. The pressure on your eye can mess up something. Don't be bending over. Don't be lifting anything heavier than a gallon of milk. Don't be doing strenuous things around your home. Go home and just rest. And that's what I did that day. Like I said, I took the Valium, but I didn't think it did anything. I mean, I couldn't feel any effect of it. But when we left there, my appointment was at 2 o'clock. When we left there, we went by Dairy Queen and got me a hamburger because I was starving. Ate that on the way home, got home, immediately went to sleep and slept about 4 hours. This shield, this plastic shield, has little holes in it. I don't know if you can see it, for air to circulate. I was told I could stop wearing it after 24 hours, which I did. I took it off, but I caught myself rubbing my eye. Both of my eyes itch. The itching must be allergies, not related to this, because this eye itched too. But I caught myself really rubbing that eye, and I thought, oh no, because you can dislodge the lens he put in. So I decided I'm putting this back on, and I'm wearing it for several more days, just so I don't mess up something. Because I'm wearing this, I can't wear my glasses. Let me show you. Did I tell you they give you this big honking pair of sunglasses? Or they sell them to you. They don't give you anything. This was my worst eye. They did it first. So I popped the lens out of my eyeglass frame so I could wear it, and this eye could, look through my lens until I have surgery on it. But with this shield on it, I can't put my glasses on. They sit down here, and that distorts the vision. So until I decide I'm not going to wear this, I won't be able to wear my glasses. And I'm more worried about protecting my eye from me rubbing it, especially in my sleep. There's no telling what I would do in my sleep. And that was it. That was it. Never felt a thing. There was absolutely nothing to worry about. Nothing. I'm going back Thursday to do this eye, and I'll do the process again. The day before, put the steroid in my eye. The day of the surgery, put in 3 drops 10 minutes apart. We'll do the whole thing again. I don't think I'll take the Valium this time because I don't think it did anything. And then they'll put the new lens in this. The lens they can be silicone or something else. I forgot what. But they won't wear out. They won't get a cataract. It's considered permanent, and you're good. You're good. The vision I have with this eye is so much clearer. In the other video I told you about my blue dress. This is a nightgown. I didn't realize this was this color blue. This is a blanket. I didn't know it was that color blue. Everything I saw was a muted gray something. The first day, since I was using both eyes to look at something, I didn't notice the color change a lot. Casey told me, go look at my new Christmas sheets. Because, when I opened those Christmas sheets on a video, to me, they looked like they were black with white trees. No, they're really like a forest green. But to me, they look black. Casey told me, go look at your sheets. And yes, I could see that they were a dark green, not black, looking with both eyes. How I discovered about the significant color difference. This is Casey coming in.
Hi.
Come on in.
A video?
Yeah. Was because that blue dress I had on, that's my favorite. I was in the bathroom and I was rubbing this eye. And so I was only looking out this eye. And I saw that dress and I thought, what? The color was vivid. So I quit rubbing this eye and covered this eye. Yeah, we're back to dusty gray, faded out denim color. I spent about 10 minutes going, yeah, it's vivid. No, it's not. But my two eyes together, it's not real vivid. When this one gets fixed, it'll be fine. I'll see everything much better. The instructions for the whole thing, I had to have somebody with me to drive me. They would not do the surgery unless there was a person there to drive me. My person was Casey. She could not leave the building. She had to stay right there outside of the little operating room. They were serious about you have to have somebody with you that can drive you home. I had been told that I probably need somebody with me 24/7 for like 3 days. Well, that wasn't possible for me. You know, I'm single. Me and the dogs live here. Casey has two jobs. My uh, other daughter has a job, and she lives 30 minutes away from me. It just didn't work out. My grandkids would have been here to help me, but their entire family had the flu, and I didn't want to catch that. Um, so there just wasn't anybody that could come stay with me. I can see where it would be helpful, but I did fine by myself. The thing is, you're not supposed to bend. You not put that pressure on your eye, not do anything to dislodge the new lens. So I didn't realize how many times a day I bent over. I pick up doggy toys constantly and throw them for the dogs. I pick up their food bowls to fill them, pick up their water bowls to fill them. All of that requires bending. I have a grabber that I can pick up the doggy toys with, but I can't pick up the water bowls and the food bowl. Um, I noticed when I went to unload the dishwasher, I was bending over to get to the bottom rack. I had done some laundry, and Casey had come in, so I asked her to get the laundry out of the washer. It's a top loading to bend down there and get the clothes out and throw in the dryer for me, so I didn't have to bend doing that. And then the other thing was, you're not supposed to get water or soap or shampoo in this eye. I don't know for how long, but you don't want it water or soap in your eye. So it was hard to shampoo my hair uh, without somebody to help me, but I managed it fine. I know I got water in this eye, but not much. I really worked hard not to. What else, Casey? What else were my instructions?
And the eye drops.
Yeah, the eye drops you do 3 times a day for 3 weeks.
Well, I think that's it.
When I go back
Not
for
rubbing.
this eye and do the eye drops for 3 weeks for this eye, it'll be almost Thanksgiving. Then I read online, I don't think anybody at that doctor's office told me this, but it really takes 3 weeks to 3 months for your eye to actually heal and settle down. That then is when you should go get your eyes tested for a pair of glasses. Um, I'm hopeful that I can just do it after the 3 weeks of doing these drops because I need glasses. I can't read. This eye, it corrects vision for distance. And because my astigmatism is so bad, that's why I'll have to have glasses to correct that so I can read. I can't read with this eye. This eye, without my glasses, I can read if I hold the book or my phone right up like at my nose, then I can read it. But it had gotten to the point where with my glasses, I was having to do that too. So it was just time to get something done. So that'll be the next step, is getting a new pair of glasses. I'm happy as can be that I'm going to have to still wear glasses. A lot of people don't have to wear glasses. Does your dad have to wear glasses?
Just reading glasses.
He wears readers. I would think I look weird without glasses, so I'm happy to have glasses. That doesn't bother me a bit that I don't immediately have 20/20 vision. I knew it wasn't going to happen because of my astigmatism. But that's it. There was nothing that hurt. Nothing to get all shook up over, and I was all shook up. I guess that's it. So, those of you who have this in your future, it's a piece of cake. Honestly, it's a piece of cake. I truly never felt them do anything, and it still doesn't hurt. My eyes itch, but obviously that's an allergy thing because this eye itches too, and they didn't do a thing to it. But I did read that this eye could itch just from the procedure. So that's it. Don't scratch your eye. Don't bend over. Let your eye heal up. You'll be good. Okay, guys, I'm going to go now. Talk to you in the next one. and I'll work on responding to your comments as I can read them. It's hard for me to read and type with my one finger, um, because I have to close this eye and try to do it. That's been kind of a inconvenient thing. I'll tell you anything I thought was inconvenient about it. There was nothing disappointing about it to me. It's inconvenient how you have to do the drops for 3 weeks per eye and then get new glasses. That's, stretching it way out. It'll be in December before I can get glasses. It's inconvenient to not be able to get water and soap near your eye to wash your hair. That was kind of inconvenient. Not bending over has been a big deal. I didn't realize how many times a day I bend over. If you're making your bed, you bend over a little bit. I mean, just everything.
But if you had somebody live with you, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's why they suggested somebody be with you 24/7 for at least 3 days.
So if you're married, it's not inconvenient. Otherwise, it is.
Yeah, if you're married, it's not inconvenient. You'll have somebody help you. So that's it. If that's the worst problem we ever have, we won't have any problems. It was just a piece of cake. Okay, I'm going to go now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. And thank you for all your comments. I really will respond to them as I can manage to get them read and type a response. I love your comments. Okay, bye. And after all that, I didn't tell you how I chose the lens or which lens I chose. I think there are 3 or 4 different lenses. He started to explain each one to me. I told him, just don't even waste your time. I have to have the lens that Medicare pays for because I can't afford anything else. That one will be fine. And that's how I chose it. My optometrist had also told me about the different lens that you could have put in. And she told me she felt like the basic lens was really good. She didn't think for the money, the additional lens that have, more bells and whistles wasn't worth the money. That the basic lens would be just fine. And so that's what I got. That's how I chose it. Same way I chose the doctor. He took my insurance. See ya.